What's up, nerds, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Sanssouci, and this is comics and, well, literally everything, but today, cosmetics. Because today, we are breaking down this crazy supervillain from Black Panther comics, Achebe. Comics and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, my name is Danny, and this is Comics and Cosmetics today. Do me a huge favor before we go any further. Please hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy content. Achebe is a really crazy supervillain with a hand puppet. I'm not kidding. He was created by Christopher Priest and Mark Texeira, and Achebe first appeared in Black Panther Comics Volume 2, Number 3 in 1998. Christopher Priest has stated that Achebe was inspired by the Joker, Hannibal Lecter, and Hans Gruber. As you can totally tell. He was mentioned in Volume 2, Number 2, but he doesn't really appear until numbers 3 through 5. So Achebe's backstory is brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal. He goes completely insane. We hear his origin from Everett Ross, the CIA guy. Oh, and if you guys are interested in any of the products that I'm using today, I'll link it all in the description below. Achebe was once a peasant farmer living with his family in the small African country of Gudaza. One day, rebel guerrilla fighters from the neighboring country of Ujanka, not heard it pronounced out loud, okay? They were forced over the border and onto Achebe's farm, who was also known as Bob. We don't know. He just liked to be called Bob. So these guerrillas, these rebel fighters, are forced onto his land, right? And Bob, Achebe, and his wife do what they can to help them out. He helps these rebel fighters, he and his wife, and they repay him so kindly by the leader seducing his wife and running off with her and stabbing Achebe 32 times and leaving him for dead. So thoughtful. They then razed his farm to the ground. There was absolutely nothing left. Here's the thing. Achebe didn't die. Achebe stabbed 32 times and somehow survives. So the rumor goes after that he made a deal with Mephisto himself. Once he wakes up, he is driven absolutely mad with heartbreak, rage, and hatred. So he's made this deal with Mephisto, and he's filled with hatred, and he decides he's going to go hunt down not only the guerrilla fighters that stole his wife and burnt his farm and, oh yeah, stabbed him 32 times. No, he's not just going to hunt after those guys. No, sir. He's going to go after every single person his wife ever spoke to or looked at. Every single one of them. He kills them each by stabbing them 32 times. Even finds his poor shoe salesman and kills him, but he just chops off his head. Like, that was nice of him. He also would burn down their homes, farms, stores, whatever their livelihood was. Achebe razed it to the ground, just as was done to him. I mean, he kills his wife's school teachers, parents, everyone. He basically erases her memory from the face of the earth. Well, after all of this, Achebe leaves Africa and he travels to the United States where he attends Yale University, as you do. You know, you just go on a complete murder rampage killing everyone that ever laid eyes on your wife, stabbing them 32 times, and then you go to Yale. You know, take that gap year and then go to Yale. So he ends up acquiring multiple degrees at Yale, including political science, psychology, divinity. He pretty much covers everything you would need to take over the world. After he gets his degree at Yale, he goes back to Gdaza. Goes back. So when he goes back there, he allies himself with some factions of the CIA, the Russian mob, and the Vulcan Demuyan Secret Service. So he lines up with like all these agencies, okay? He makes friends with them. And through those alliances, help to erupt ethnic wars. I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny, but it's crazy that he did all this stuff. But he erupts all these ethnic wars that force thousands of refugees into Wakanda. He wants to take over a country. So first he realizes, with the help of, factions of the CIA, Russian mob, and the Vulcan Demuyan Secret Service, got to destabilize it first. And what's the best way to do that? Send in a bunch of refugees. Listen, there is no judgment on me contouring my fat face. Got it? Got it. Thank you. Mind your business. He's immigrated to Wakanda in this refugee camp. And, Wakanda is ruled by Black Panther at this time, by T'Challa. Achebe really starts playing off the fact that a lot of these poor African countries are really jealous of Wakanda and its people. Very jealous. They're a wealthy country, lots of technology, and their jealousy kind of forces them to blame them for their problems. So here they are in these camps, that have been set up by the warmth and kindness of the people of Wakanda. And Achebe starts really poking at the soft spots and stirring up trouble. He's the stomach flu, okay? He doesn't take the shits, he just disturbs them. He's creating diarrhea amongst these refugee camps. Now, at the time, Black Panther was a part of an investigation involving a huge scandal caused by Achebe with a nonprofit community service organization supported by Wakanda. The investigation grew pretty problematic, requiring Black Panther to stay in the US for quite some time. But Black Panther soon discovered that the scandal was a ruse to lure him out of Wakanda. Now, this is when Achebe was able to topple the Wakandan government in a coup d'etat involving Ramunda, T'Challa's stepmother, and dun dun dun, Mephisto. Mephisto wanted Black Panther's soul, so he's like, I have an idea, Achebe. Go get Ramunda. Go get her. I got an idea. So Black Panther is actually taken in to Mephisto's realm, where he does, eventually defeat Mephisto and actually severs his relationship with Achebe. He's like, I know y'all are up to no good. Not on my watch. Mm-mm. But even though able to defeat Mephisto and sever ties Mephisto and Achebe, Achebe is still ruling Wakanda. This crazy person who talks to a hand puppet named Daki. He's ruling one of the most powerful and technologically advanced nations in the world. Doesn't sound like a problem at all, does it? Because Achebe and Ramunda were still ruling Wakanda, that forced Black Panther to go back to the US. Once he came back from hell, he had to go back to the US. I know I keep bringing up his sock puppet, but it's so important. It's a big part of his character. Like, one of his powers that he got from Mephisto, because you make a deal with Mephisto, you're gonna get something in return. And part of his abilities he got was ventriloquism. He can mimic voices. He can mimic movements. And he can throw his voice like a ventriloquist does. So, I mean, if that's what you're into, if that's the deal with the devil that you choose to make, to be really good at puppets, I mean, maybe he's onto something because it's super creepy. It's really, really creepy. At one point, Achebe incites a riot outside an official state reception for Black Panther, requiring the Avengers to step in and kind of help out. Now, remember, we're just talking about his ventriloquist powers, his mimicry, his ability to mimic voices, and that uses it for a hand puppet. Eventually, without the support of Mephisto, Achebe falls deeper into insanity, like skipping hand in hand. That's when he starts talking with the hand puppet doc, and he starts to really follow his own agenda, untethered, unburdened by what was with Mephisto, rather than the one that his allies had agreed on. Achebe's like, I'm off doing my own thing now. He betrays Ramunda. Who didn't see that one coming? Like, the insane, filled with hatred evil guy betrays Ramunda. Go figure. But he betrays her by beating her unconscious. It's absolutely brutal. So after he's beaten Ramunda, he gains access to Ramunda's codes to Wakanda's last line of defense. These giant panther robots called Prowlers. And then he sends them out to attack Wakanda, the very nation that he's leading, because, he's got his own thing going on and he's crazy. Luckily for all of Wakanda, the Black Panther and his entourage show up just in time to deactivate the Prowlers and save Wakanda and the world. So, of course, after Black Panther gets there, T'Challa is able to deactivate the Prowlers and oust Achebe from power. However, Achebe escapes the palace by impersonating the Black Panther, who he had left in a death trap, like any good Bond villain would. So even though he's able to escape the palace impersonating the Black Panther, he is caught by Captain America, who immediately knows that ain't T'Challa. I know T'Challa, and T'Challa doesn't talk to a hand puppet. At least not that I know of. It's not really what happened, but he's able to tell that's not T'Challa. Because Achebe's like, here's the thing, dude. You can either catch me, arrest me, whatever you want, whatever you do, or you can go save T'Challa. Yeah, it's a death trap. Well, of course, Cap saves his friend instead. So Achebe gets away because Cap chose to save T'Challa rather than capture Achebe. And there you have it. Achebe is still roaming free, ready to cause havoc. I love this character. I love Achebe. He's this extremely gifted genius with crazy talents like ventriloquism. If that doesn't scream kooky Bond villain, then I don't know what does. He likes to use explosives. He's got athleticism enough to mimic Black Panther's moves and fighting style. He's a skilled politician and an expert in divinity and psychology. This is a dangerous, dangerous combination for a man as crazy as Achebe is. And that's why I really hope they explore him more in the comics, and we're getting him on the big screen in the MCU. It's rumored that Denzel Washington will be playing Achebe in Black Panther 3, and I am here for it. But that's all I got for you nerds today on the Black Panther supervillain Achebe. If you enjoy the content I'm putting out there, then please do me a huge favor. Help support the channel in the easiest and freest way possible. All you have to do is hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy goodness. If you would like to join the official Nerdling Army and receive your own official exclusive Nerdling Army merch, check out patreon.com/comicsand for sneak peeks, exclusive content, the official Nerdling Army chat, and breakdown requests. And if you would like to pick up your own copy of Achebe's Origins in Black Panther Volume 2, number 3 through 5, then check out shopapotheosis.com/comicsand and use code comicsand for 10% off your purchase today. But that's all I got today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Until then, nerds, check under your beds tonight because
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!